You rolling? Hey, this cactus still got a loco at cactusbackwards.com. People ask me sometimes for my own interpretation of events and things that are occurring around me. And I feel too humble to personally offer forth my opinion on these things. But to share the ways and methods that I use to center myself as I interpret the chaotic events that unfold in my life around me. Today I would like to share with you the readings of Sensei Suzuki from Japan. He is considered one of the very great Zen Buddhist teachers, I'm told. I will now read the introduction. Zen, in its essence, is the art of seeing into the nature of one's own being, and it points the way from bondage to freedom. By making us drink right from the fountain of life, it liberates us from all yokes under which we finite beings are usually suffering in this world. We can say that Zen liberates all the energies properly and naturally stored in each of us, which are in ordinary circumstances cramped and distorted, so that they find no adequate channel for activity. This body of ours is something like an electric battery, in which a mysterious power latently lies. When this power is not properly brought into operation, it either grows moldy and withers away, or is warped and expresses itself abnormally. It is the object of Zen, therefore, to save us from going crazy or being crippled. This is what I mean by freedom, giving free play to all the creative and benevolent impulses inherently lying in our hearts. Generally, we are blind to this fact, that we are in possession of all the necessary faculties that will make us happy and loving towards one another. All the struggles that we see around us come from this ignorance. Zen, therefore, wants us to open a third eye, as Buddhists call it, to the hitherto undreamed of region, shut away from us through our own ignorance. When the cloud of ignorance disappears, the infinity of the heavens is manifested, where we see for the first time into the nature of our own being. We now know the significance of life. We know that it is not blind striving, nor is it a mere display of brutal forces, but that while we know not definitely what the ultimate purport of life is, there is something in it that makes us feel infinitely blessed in the living of it, and remain quite contented with it in all its evolution, without raising questions or entertaining pessimistic doubts. When we are full of vitality and not yet awakened to the knowledge of life, we cannot comprehend the seriousness of all the conflicts involved in it, which are apparently for the moment in a state of quiescence. But sooner or later, the time will come when we have to face life squarely and solve its most perplexing and pressing riddles. Says Confucius, Master Kung Fu Tse, a 15 At 15, my mind was directed to study, and at 30, I knew where to stand. This is one of the wisest sayings of the Chinese sage. Psychologists will all agree to this statement of his, for generally speaking, 15 is about the age youth begins to look around seriously and inquire into the meaning of life. All the spiritual powers until now securely hidden in the subconscious part of the mind break out almost simultaneously. And when this breaking out is too precipitous and violent, the mind may lose its balance more or less permanently. In fact, so many cases of nervous prostration reported during adolescence are chiefly due to this loss of the mental equilibrium. In most cases, the effect is not very grave, and the crisis may pass without leaving deep marks. But in some characters, either through their inherent tendencies or on account of the influence of environment upon their plastic constitution, the spiritual awakening stirs them up to the very depths of their personality. This is the time you will be asked to choose between the everlasting no and the everlasting yea. This choosing is what Master Kun refers to by study. It is not studying the classics, but deeply delving into the mysteries of life. Normally, the outcome of the struggle is the everlasting yea, or let thy will be done. For life is, after all, a form of affirmation. However, negatively it might be conceived by the pessimists. But we cannot deny the fact that there are many things in this world which will turn our too sensitive minds towards the other direction and make us claim with Andreyev in The Mind of Man, I curse everything that you have given. I curse the day on which I was born. I curse the day on which I shall die. I curse the whole of my life. I fling everything back at your cruel face. Senseless fate, be accursed, be forever accursed. With my curses I conquer you. What else can you do to me? With my last thought, I will shout into your asinine ears, be accursed, be accursed. This is a terrible indictment of life. It is a complete negation of life. It is a most dismal picture of the destiny of man on earth. Leaving no trace is quite true, for we know nothing of our future except that we all pass away, including the very earth from which we have come. There are certainly things justifying pessimism. Let's cut here.